This is another episode of My Time With. And today we're going to talk about my time with Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons, I think, is probably best known as the father of hip-hop. Hip-hop, you know, that dance music that kids like. I have to admit, when I met Russell Simmons some years ago, I had no idea who he was. I had to get some intelligence about who he was and what he had done to shape the lives of many people, especially teenagers in the United States and I guess eventually around the world. Well, I'm getting in front of the story, so let's back up a bit and go back to the beginning. Now, I met a man. His name was Richard Serban. We met in London, England, and Richard was living in New York, Manhattan, and he had an apartment in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He was married to Lulu's niece, one of the past presidents of Brazil. Maybe spent some time in jail, I'm not sure. Lulu, that is, not Richard. And when I met Richard, he was a fascinating guy. Richard Serban was somebody that had been the top pharmacist and the top lawyer for a major American drug company. And I guess during his time in Brazil with his wife and friends and so forth, he discovered a very interesting natural growth item that came from the Amazon rainforest. Cat's claw, I think we call it. And back to the story. Anyway, he formulated this, I believe, all-natural product into a company that was called Optogenics. And cat's claw from the Brazilian rainforest was put into this capsule, and the whole idea was the product was going to be useful for the popular phenomenon of anti-aging, turning back the time, anti-aging, so helping people live longer. I'm not sure in the meantime what happened to the company. I remember having a great New York bagel with Richard and spending a little bit of time with him in New York. And one day I was in his office and he said, "I want you to meet a friend of mine." So somewhere Lexington, I want to say, 42nd, maybe. We walked over to a building, one of those high-rise buildings, and went up the elevator to 31st, 32nd floor, something like that, and got off. I still didn't know who Richard was about to introduce to me. And, but Richard was a good guy. So I thought this would be, at the very least, interesting, which it proved to be very interesting. We got off 31st, 32nd floor, something like that. It was all gold plated everywhere, I remember. And we walked through that floor, which was a fairly open space with a lot of sewing machines. And what I later learned was a lot of fashion, and I think it was when he was married to Kimora, maybe his wife, who was maybe involved in her own fashion line. Anyway, we went through the floor and then to a place where there was this circular stairs going up to the floor above. That was interesting in and of itself, and we went up and we were escorted into a large office space, and beautiful office, big desk, and Behind that desk, a man, great haircut, just like mine, no hair, was introduced, and we spent the next 90 minutes together talking in his office. Come to find out, he was very big into nutrition and always looking for new products, something to try, something to invest in, something to partner in. And we ended up spending that 90 minutes together, and what I remember being a very high-packed, high-energy conversation. My friend Richard Serban, Russell Simmons, and me. It was a wonderful time. And when I think back to that time together with Russell Simmons, I asked myself the question, what did I learn about this man and that experience? And as I recall, besides being a generous man in many charities and so forth, I found him to be extremely passionate about what he was involved in. I think he has done a lot of good for a lot of people. I think he has participated in bringing a lot of very healthy products to market and into distribution because of his success in other areas of life, music, fashion maybe, real estate. I don't know what he's all been involved in. So I learned that drive and passion of a wonderful man like Russell, and my time with him is a good thing. I enjoyed my time with him. I'd love to meet him again, as I would all of these interesting people, especially as I get to now share what I remember of my time with, and in this case, my time with Russell Simmons. I hope you're doing well. By the way, I think you are spectacular. You are an important, fantastic person I want to spend time with, if that's okay with you. See you soon. Bye-bye.